Today I just want to share something that opened my eyes last night. Pride is something that is an ongoing battle, basically. Having true humility takes a lot of strength. I spoke about humility and being strength in my last video, and I'm really learning that to love and forgive is so much more powerful than to hate and be angry. But it's an ongoing lesson. And just when I think, I have a hold of pride or that I understand all of it in myself, I meet a new mirror. I meet a new challenge. I want to share something that happened. I was speaking with someone online about angels and Nephilim, and it got out of hand. And the reason it did is because I was foolish in the sense that I did not realize that the person that was asking me questions was not honest and sincere about receiving the answers. I was being baited to, I'm not sure actually, it seems like quite a psychological operation I was under because the person was incredibly cunning. I guess he knew my weakness to want to share what I've learned, and he exploited it. And I learned a lot from it. So in the process, I kept giving and giving. And as time went on, I realized I was being ridiculed. It was slight, sort of like what a narcissist does at the beginning of a relationship, where they just slightly give you little hits, to the chin. As time went on, it got worse and worse. And that's when I went, uh-oh, you're being led to a trap almost. And what I found most disturbing about it is this person told me in the end, when I basically said, I realize what's happening here. And he said, you don't know the Bible. I know it better than you. And I know Christ better than you. And I am a true Christian. Wow. A true Christian who was not straightforward, who is cunning and manipulative and spiteful and mean. So we all have to be very careful of what spirit we are in. He also decided that he would sort of have a little side talk on the same thread with another person where they said, dumb Christians that don't know their book. And when you're a Gnostic, and I've dealt with quite a few Gnostics, and something I have noticed is that many of them, in the undercurrent of their belief system, really don't like Jesus Christ, Yahusha. Like, they really have a spirit of hatred. I don't know if they're aware of it or not, or I'm not speaking for every single one of them, but Gnosticism is, once you start getting into it, it's actually quite a frightening thing, because many shall come in his name and shall not be of his characteristics, and that is what I am seeing. So last night after this had happened, it really saddened me. I actually felt my heart was tenderized by it, and that's a good thing. So as I was driving, I was thinking to myself, wow, all the things that have been done in his name, all the terrible things that have been done in the name of progress, in the name of righteousness, in the name of enlightenment, in the name of Christ. And we have to remember that also a lot of these things that have happened in history They've been done in the name of Christ as a mask, as a tactic. They're not of him. You read that book, there's no way that half of the things that have been done in his name are done in the true spirit of what he is and who he is. So it got me thinking about persecution, and because of being mocked and being ridiculed and being dealt or dealing with someone that literally told me they're mentally and intellectually and spiritually superior to me in the most unkind way, got me thinking about a lot of things. And there is persecution coming for us who believe on his name, believe on his word. And it will be done in the name of goodness. It will be done in the name of progress. And we need to be strong. And we need to edify each other. There's a lot of talk about the churches, and there's a lot of problems with today's churches. I don't go to church. I never have. But that said, we need to remember who feeds the poor, who clothes them. So some of the people going to church, they may not know the Bible. They may not know it. They may not even read it. But what are they doing? They're clothing and helping the poor. So when you have an intellectual Gnostic or someone who is merely going to just pull apart the word and ridicule it, what are they doing? What are they doing that's kind and good? Why is intelligence placed at the highest place in our society now, nearly? Self-worship is pretty much underneath it. And I guess like bragging or believing that you're superior in any form is really of the opposite of God. So we live in a world where you are celebrated in this society if you're considered intelligent. So much so that you can be very rude and unkind. But if you have a lot of letters beside your name, you will be rewarded. And it just shows you who is the king of this world, really. Because what is most important? What is the most important thing in this world? And who do you want to be remembered as? I went and met a woman who has dementia, and her husband was there. I do home support work, so I left that home quite bewildered. And the reason being is that the woman who has dementia, she can no longer speak, and it's at some later stages in the development. But it was dealing with her husband. They come from European background. I'm not going to say which one, but it is a background that often holds intelligence and language at a high place. And so through his defense of her and of himself, he found it necessary to make it known that his wife was very intelligent and that he is very intelligent. And it was very important to him. And I could see that it was important because he was trying to hold on, because she was losing it, and he was seeing that these things are transitory, or these things don't last. If you have based your whole life on being intelligent and being like a university this or that, and then you lose all of that, what do you have? And so I left there thinking, What do I want of my children? Is it more important that they be intelligent and be viewed in this world as intelligent, or is it more important that they're kind? And I was quite saddened by that, because the world does not think that way. And having a child that has disabilities, my eldest son does, is very, very interesting. It's wonderful. There's victories. There's beautiful rewards of the Spirit. But I'm telling you, walking in this world is incredibly difficult when you are a nonconformist and when you have challenges that are real. I was reading Luke, and it got me thinking, because it says, Luke 14, but when thou art bidden, it's basically saying, when thou art bidden of any man to a wedding, sit not down in the highest room, lest a more honorable man than thou be bidden of him. And he that bade thee, and him come and say to thee, give this man place, and thou begin with shame to take the lowest room. But when thou art bidden, go and sit in the lowest room, that when he that bade thee cometh, he say unto thee, friend, go up higher. Then thou shalt have worship in the presence of them that sit at meat with thee. For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humble himself shall be exalted. When thou makest a dinner or supper, call not thy friends, nor thy brethren, neither thy kinsmen, nor thy rich neighbors, lest they also bid thee again, and recompense be made thee. But when thou makest a feast, call the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind, and thou shalt be blessed, for they cannot recompense thee, for thou shalt be recompensed at the resurrection of the just. Seek the lowest seat. And when someone says, come up here, someone being Christ or the Most High, then you can be humbly thankful. That doesn't make sense, but you can be humble in your thanks to them. I was shown a little bit of what it felt like, just a tiny grain of sand size of worth of what persecution feels like, to have someone spit at you verbally and mock you. And we need to prepare. We need to prepare, because this world is not ours. This world that holds self-worship and intelligence above compassion and above mercy and kindness, it's only going to get worse. Look at the abortion laws that were just passed. Where's the love in that, when everyone's cheering like they're at a football game that babies are going to be killed, possibly at full term? It is a despicable world. It's despicable here. We can be joyous and happy in any bit of grace and any bit of graciousness and the beautiful nature that God has bestowed to us. But human nature is faulty. Let us not worship ourselves. Let us be kind to each other and edify each other where we can. I hope that I am, to whoever's listening to this. I'm sending you now a lot of love from the depths of my heart, that whoever hears this is blessed by the Most High and His precious Son, Yahusha, in love and in all the gifts of the Spirit. May they be yours, so that your light may shine bright for those who are in darkness. Much love. Thank you.